Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Super Arrow Idol with best farming setup. So if you're Super Arrow Idol player or perhaps Idol gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Right then guys, so recently I have put a short in regards to ongoing event in this game. All you need to do is just kill a lot of monsters to get a special currency. Let me just talk you through that quickly once again. So we're gonna head over into event, and in 2023 exchange event, once we join on that, this is pretty much where all the magic happens. So you'll be collecting these monster hearts. This is the currency you want to drop. You got to bear in mind you'll be dropping just one or two, and that's gonna happen quite rarely. So obviously you want to be as efficient as possible in order to farm and ideally at the same time drop as many monster hearts as possible. The rewards itself in this event are great, and as I record this video, this is still a 16 days of that, so I would like to grab as many rewards as possible. So the strategy I've got for you actually allows you to also farm in a very high stages. So if you currently check my complete power for this farming strat, it's at 45.12 G, and actually the stage 9.7 is a maximum stage I can actually be at, and we are require 129 G to be here. So this is obviously a first affirmation that this setup is pretty great because we are 2.5 times weaker than recommended power. Yet again, I can easily talk to you, I don't really need to worry, and this is on full auto farm. I don't need to sort of try to escape from the monsters in case obviously I'll be running out of HP. As you see, this is on full automation, and that's obviously the full purpose of great farming setup. So without further ado, let's obviously jump into a skill deck and we're gonna discuss it in greater details. So I'm gonna head over here, and obviously deck number 1 is a farming one. So I'm currently using 5 main skills and 23 sub skills. The first thing definitely worth noting is I'm using plenty of physical skills, and this is obviously down to a mastery. My mastery is currently on level 719, where every other element pretty much is between 380, 390 and 400. So currently this is obviously the strongest setup, hence that many skills. Also, the second thing you definitely see on the screen is a mix of different elements within a particular skill deck, and that's not a problem whatsoever. Obviously I'm gonna talk certain criteria that you want to go ahead, because bear in mind obviously I need to be aware that you might not necessarily unlock all the skills I currently have on this very deck, but a certain principle will remain the same. So if you go with this very strategy, it doesn't really matter if you're gonna mix your skills, because your damage output gonna completely outperform putting them with a main skill and sub skills from a same element. Right, so let's get straight to the point here. So the first one I've got is actually a basic skill, and in my opinion this is a must-have due to its very low cooldown. You'll be basically spamming this skill all the time, and that will follow up with some extra sub skills which will now allow you to pretty much cover bigger area. You want to go for skills with add arrow or add shard projectile, which means you're gonna be pretty much covering bigger and wider areas. And you can completely ignore part of description where it slightly decreases damage. It does decrease damage, but because of how many arrows you're gonna shoot across the map, this will compensate the lack of damage. And as you see, this is now topped up with track and reflect, which pretty much obviously adding to the whole element of as many arrows as possible across the map. Right, the second main attack is actually a lifesteal arrow, and this is not the best coverage when it comes to obviously a damage deal, etc. But it's very important that you've got that lifesteal, especially when we talk about top-notch stages. You know, end of the day, I got this deck open, I record this video, and I'm not really worried that my character is about to die. You want to make sure you land your character on that very stage, and it can stay there absolutely for hours. This is also topped up with a Light of Life. You got different sub skills as well, which help you either steal more HP or this one actually replenish it. And because I'm talking about this definite reassurance that you're gonna live in that stage, I have put here increased attack speed, as that one is decreasing cooldown time of the linked main skill. So therefore obviously I'm gonna shoot this arrow more often, and that gives me even more confidence my character gonna stay there all the time. Then Auto Ballista, the moment you're gonna unlock this skill, you're gonna absolutely love it. This is a great damage deal, and it will again shoot multiple arrows. And because we're still talking here farming, I don't want to miss out on extra gold and extra experience, and I want to have that all the time when I'm farming. Alright, and then I'm moving into a third main skill, and this is one of the newest acquisition actually, Chain Lighting. And obviously, as the name suggests, this is gonna be a multiple enemy skills, and I absolutely love that skill. And this just follows up with more different skills, and pretty much icons as well suggest that you're gonna have multiple arrows, you're gonna split these arrows, you're gonna have multiple projectile. So this pretty much is a combination of different skills which will give you this extra coverage. So now we're moving into number 4, and this is omnidirectional. I got to say, I absolutely hated that skill the moment I unlocked it, but now it's my favorite. So the reason I didn't like it, because your character actually stops and doing that funny spin, which pretty much it doesn't give you that flow where you can just shoot, kill the monsters and carry on. But the damage is absolutely great, and I got to say, this skill has actually taken me places, therefore it got a place in this top 5. This is now topped up with increased arrow speed, and then more arrows which obviously split or give you additional coverage. And then one of the first skills which stops and then tops up everything else in here is this AOE damage skills. So we've got here a bit of Meteor, we've got Rain of Decay, we've got Icicle, and these are pretty much heavy hitters when it comes to AOE damage. Again, as you see, it doesn't really matter what elements you do, you want to put as many of these skills as possible. So pretty much, even if you wipe the area and then you cast that skill, the moment new monsters are being respawn, you pretty much already hitting them hard. Alright then guys, so that will be it. As you can clearly see, we have managed to talk about skills for a few minutes whilst character was nicely grinding in the background. I do not think this needs more recommendation than I have already proposed. So therefore, obviously, see where you currently are in a game, implement this strategy when it comes to these multiple arrows and projectile skills, extra AoE, additional life steals, and you should be just good to go. Thank you very much guys for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.